Hopefully on Monday we can get the official announcement from Manchester United or Ajax or both, I'm not fussy, about Erik Ten Hag after the Dutch Cup final, which I will definitely be watching on Sunday evening. But we've talked about quite a lot of things to do with Ten Hag, his philosophy, his identity, everything to do. We had a conversation on the live stream today about transfers, but one thing that we've really got to take a look at is his use of academy players at Ajax and Manchester United's academy. Our academy has really improved over the last few years. We've got a great crop of youngsters right now in their first FA Youth Cup final since 2011. What youngsters could Erik Ten Hag come to United and look at and go, you know what? You can be a first team player. I'm going to run through 5 names in this video, run through each player and speak about them. So make sure you stick around. This will be a good one. Make sure you subscribe to United People's TV. If you do enjoy it as well and you do learn a bit, go down there, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It's free. You can get involved, become part of the community. Would love to have you on board. But yeah, we can talk about transfers all we want, but it's kind of overlooking what Erik Ten Hag has built his successful career on as being a coach and bringing through youngsters like De Ligt from Ajax's academy, De Jong from Ajax's academy, Van der Beek from Ajax's academy, and building a team that got to the Champions League semi-final off the back of them. And if you look at what he's doing this season, he's doing the exact same thing. Again, you're looking at Jurriën Timber, you're looking at Ryan Gravenberch, 2 youngsters who have come in to replace the likes of De Jong inside that squad and the likes of De Ligt inside that squad. Ten Hag is a man, as I said, whose coaching career thus far has been limited resource-wise compared to the likes of Bayern Munich, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, your top level. Obviously, Ajax have got a great academy now, and that's what he's done. He's brought through loads of players, and he's built 2 very successful teams off the back of it, which should fill United fans with a lot of excitement. So there's 5 youngsters that I want to run through. They're not to say that 5 youngsters are going to go straight into this first team, become first-team stars immediately, but they're definitely 5 youngsters I think Erik Ten Hag will be excited to coach, because that's what he's done. He's coached, and he's improved the likes of De Ligt, De Jong, Gravenberch, and Timber. He's made them better players. That's a sign of a good coach. I hope he can do it with these youngsters. And you can't talk about United's youngsters without speaking about Charlie McNeil. We signed him from City. The 18-year-old striker he scored over 600 goals at youth level. And if you look at his stats for last season in the first year with the under-18s, he scored 24 goals in 21 appearances with 6 assists. He's come through and he's gone into the FA Youth Cup team now, 5 goals in 5 appearances. He's a big reason why Manchester United's youth team are in that FA Youth Cup final. He looks like an absolute goal-scoring sensation. If we're looking at a weakness inside this Manchester United squad, there's a big opportunity, I would say, for Charlie McNeil to impress during pre-season. And maybe, now look, you could say, right, Sam, he hasn't really played any under-23s football. And there's a huge jump between under-23s in the Premier League, let alone the under-18s in the Premier League. And of course there is, but as, was it Smack Busby once said it? I don't know whether it's true or not. If they're good enough, they're old enough. Given our weaknesses up front, I think Charlie McNeil, he'll be looking at this as a real opportunity. And I'm excited to see what he can do. So he's first on my list, is Charlie McNeil. You can't overlook how impressive he's been. But at the same time, I could say that James Wilson was impressive at that level. Will Keane was impressive at that level. And they both were, of course. But injuries really curtailed both of those. Fingers crossed the same doesn't happen to Charlie McNeil. Moving on to the second name on my list. And that's somebody who's definitely been taking some headlines this season. That's Alejandro Garnacho. 17-year-old Argentinian. Really has been, just like Charlie McNeil has been a key part of that under-18s FA Youth Cup run, Alejandro Garnacho has. He really has been fantastic. If you look at his numbers this year, very impressive for somebody who plays out on the wing. Overall in his career so far, according to Transfermarkt, 48 games, 19 goals and 10 assists. But it's that FA Youth Cup run. Again, 5 games, 5 goals and 3 assists. Like Charlie McNeil over here, 5 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. Nearly bang on. He's been impressing so much that he's been called up to the Argentina senior team, despite the fact that he hasn't played. Has he even played for United under 23s? Let's have a look. No, he hasn't. Premier League 2, I think that's the under 18s. He's only 17, right? Very, very young. Very raw. I think he turns 18 in July. But he's already trained with Messi and he's already trained with Ronaldo. I think it was only 2 weeks ago where he was pictured training with Manchester United's first team. And again, like McNeil, I'm not necessarily saying that both of these players should be coming into the first team setup next season. But if I'm looking at 2 players who Ten Hag will be excited to coach, then certainly Charlie McNeil and Alejandro Garnacho will be 2 on that list. What do you think about either of those? You let me know what you think in the comments below. But if we're looking at a striker there in McNeil and we're looking at a winger there in Garnacho, winger, central player, yeah, I would call him a winger. Then you're looking at a left back here in Alvaro Fernandez. Now, he is a little bit older. I believe he's 19. He's been playing with the under-23s this season, and he has been very impressive. And again, the reason I'm naming these players is because of opportunities that exist in the squad. I would say, reverting back to what I was speaking about, Ten Hag is a man who is used to working with youngsters, seeing the talents, and bringing them through. Could it be Charlie McNeil? Could it be Alejandro Garnacho? Could it be Alvaro Fernandez? I would say with Fernandez, definitely it could be, because I don't particularly think we're going to be signing. There's so many things that need to be improved in this squad. We can't, that won't all be through signings. But Ten Hag, as I said, he's a man he's built most of his great players through academy stars that he's turned into superstars rather than spending big. Ajax don't spend big. They sell big and they grow players into stars. Hopefully, Alvaro Fernandez can be the next one on that list. He's a left back, has 60 appearances. He's, as I said, he's been playing with the under-23s this season. Oh, look, yeah, Alejandro Garnacho has been playing with under-23s. I apologise about that. I don't know, actually. I'll be completely honest. I don't actually know. But Alvaro Fernandez, for those who have seen him play this season, he looks like a very good left-back prospect. And as I said, Manchester United, we're going to have to do a blend over the next few years of signing players who are absolutely ready for senior football, stars that are going to improve our team straight away. And at the same time, bolstering that with players coming through the academy. We've invested so well in our academy over the last... There's been not many success stories at Manchester United, but the improvement in our academy over the last 5 years is definitely a success story. And the last two names on this list, you'll probably be able to guess which, both of them, in fact, you'll definitely be able to guess both of them, because we're looking at players who are ready and close to that point. Hannibal Mejbri is absolutely ready for that opportunity to step up into senior football. And the timing's perfect. Again, Juan Mata, his contract is expiring. He's not going to be extended. I don't think we'll replace Juan Mata. Jesse Lingard, his contract is expiring. He'll leave on a 3. I don't think we'll necessarily replace Jesse Lingard either. Two more senior attacking players leaving. Opportunity is right there for Hannibal Mejbri to slot in right there and become maybe a backup to Bruno Fernandes. Somebody who plays in FA Cup games. Somebody who plays in Europa League games next season, maybe. He's played 2 senior international tournaments with Tunisia. The Arab Cup, where I believe they lost in the final, and the African Cup of Nations, where I believe Tunisia got to the knockouts, were lost in the first round. Can't remember who to. Senegal, maybe? Anyway, he's matured a lot. Now, he's 19 as well. I think Hannibal Mejbri is really ready for that step up. If we look at his experience, he's definitely got a bit more spirit. 56 appearances, 7 goals, 19 assists. But it doesn't really matter that you can look at that all you want, but it doesn't really matter about those numbers per se when it comes to young players. Obviously, Charlie McNeil scoring 600 plus goals at youth level. We can talk about that. But Hannibal Mejbri, for me, is definitely ready for that step. He's been training with the first team for quite some time now. And yeah, I want him to fill that void. It's a tiny void. To fill that gap that Mata leaves behind. To fill that gap in the squad that Lingard leaves behind. That's what academy players should do. You come in, you bring in the players that you really need in that senior team, but then you remove the bloat and then you create more opportunities for the younger players to come through. Now, if we're talking about managers who have brought through young players, obviously, I spoke about this before on one of the live streams. Van Gaal brought through the likes of Blackett, of McNair, of Borthwick Jackson, of Donald Love. There was a ton of players that he gave first team appearances to. Where are they now? Meh, not many there. Jose Mourinho, he was a big fan of Scott McTominay. He's still there. There were a couple of other players. You could talk about Rashford under Van Gaal when he came through under the opportunity when Martial was injured. There's a couple of players who have survived and come through, but Ten Hag really is, compared to all of them, his record with youth players and turning them into first-team stars is phenomenal by comparison. And what he could do at Manchester United. And that's very exciting. And one player I think we all are definitely keen to see during the pre-season, and that's Jimmy Garner. Obviously gone out on loan at Nottingham Forest. It kind of feels weird because he's been gone for, what is it, 2 seasons now on loan? He's still only 21. And if you look at the amount of appearances that he's had, 155 appearances, like for a 21-year-old footballer, he's got plenty of experience there going through from the Europa League with Manchester United, down there with the under-18s, a whole way through to the Championship, over 50 appearances in the Championship. And he is in a rich vein of form right now with Nottingham Forest. He is definitely going to get an opportunity during the pre-season, and we need midfielders. I'm not sure if you've noticed. We have. We need midfielders. And if we're going to be signing, again, it's about bolstering the squad with new signings. We need a proper powerhouse central midfielder. Absolutely. And I've been talking about maybe someone like Yuri Tillemans as a secondary midfielder that we need to sign, but maybe it's about spending a bit bigger on that first one and creating an opportunity for James Garner to come in and be that secondary central midfielder that we bring in into the first team setup. Maybe that could work. I suppose we'll see during the preseason when Ten Hag comes in. Look, and you might come at me and say, Sam, why are you talking so confidently about Ten Hag? It's still not done yet. I think it's done. I feel it's done. I feel like on Monday, Tuesday, we're just going to get the announcement. If at this point it doesn't happen, I've got a lot of videos to delete. No, it won't. It won't happen. But look, in my opinion, these are 5 players that I think should be very excited about the prospect of Ten Hag coming in, and also 5 players I think Ten Hag will be very excited about. Charlie McNeil, him coming through into the under-23 setup, see how he gets on. If he's good enough, bring him through. Alejandro Garnacho, 17, turning 18 in July. Really, both of them have lit up the FA Youth Cup final, which I believe is that the 30th of April, I think. That's at Old Trafford. That should be a cracking game to watch. Fingers crossed we can win it. Then you've got Alvaro Fernandez, the left back. I believe fullbacks are a weakness inside this team. I think there will be a weakness under Ten Hag. So there's an opportunity there for Alvaro Fernandez to really sort of push his way through. Then you've got Hannibal Mejbri, and then you've got Jimmy Garner. You've got 5 players there who I think Ten Hag will be looking at. Well, he won't have looked at now, but when he comes in, he'll be like, okay, yeah, there is real talent inside these academy teams now. We've had real progress there. Now it's the time to really start blooding them, bringing them into the first team. This new look United team that's going to get grown over the next few years, there's no doubt we need to spend money, and we need to spend big. We need to supplement that by bringing through some stars from our academy. It is at the core of what United is, and it always will be. And it has been at the core of what Ten Hag has done so far in his career and the success that he has had in Ajax, not only once, but twice, with teams built on academy stars that he has coached into top-level players. Very exciting indeed. You let me know what you think about those 5. We could speak about Amad Diallo. I think Amad was brought in more as a first-team player, but again, he's one of those young, raw players. And again, it's somebody who Ten Hag would love to coach. And I'm sure there are others that you could name on this list, but you let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to United People's TV. And I hope you do. This definitely looks crisper and cleaner than the last camera. I've installed a new camera. I hope you like it. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Take it easy, everyone.